Welcome back to Lucid Trading for the second live stream. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be covering the FOMC minutes. It is going to be uploaded in about a couple minutes here. 3 minutes left. Here we go. There's a fly messing with me right now. Alright, so I'm just taking a look right now. Let's see. Transcripts. I'm currently looking for the place where they usually report this. Let me check. FOMC meetings, January 26, 27. Alright, it's going to be updated very soon, so we are going to get this released in 1 minute here. There's about a minute left. Oh boy, this will be interesting. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Make sure you hit the like button. I would appreciate that a lot. That would be awesome. Hope you guys like the new video that I uploaded about C3.ai. I think it's going to be very, very wild for the coming minutes. Let's take a look at the markets, right? Let's take a look at the Russell especially. It's going to be uploaded here in about a couple seconds. Let's see what happens to the Russell. Yeah, Palantir is skyrocketing. It is going up massively, I know. It is looking pretty good. Let me turn on the lights. Alright, here we go. It should be uploaded now. See if I can get a hands on it. 2021. There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, it should be uploaded right now. The FOMC minutes, the documentation of the recent FOMC meeting. I'm currently looking for it right now. I can't find it yet. One sec. Usually it takes a couple minutes. Russell's still doing okay. Not moving that much. Stocks are still overall green, right? Overall green. Palantir skyrocketing. Robinhood skyrocketing. Russell is starting to move right now. Oh boy. Yeah, I still cannot find the... Maybe it's at the press releases. That could also be the case. Minutes of the Federal Open Markets. There we go. Fantastic. Right, I will switch screen right now. Here we go. Let's just do that. Alrighty. Nothing here yet. Oh, is it this one? All right, there we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so we got it, right? So this is the FOMC minutes. So this is the documentation of the recent FOMC meeting. As we can see here, minutes of the Federal Open Market Committee. A joint meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee and the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System was held by video conference on Tuesday. Okay, right. So we're going to take a look at this. Not only that, I'm just going to quickly take at the market. Yep, Russell's going up. Yep, the Russell is heading up. All growth stocks are starting to move to the upside. Should be. I'm predicting right now that the tapering was not really talked about, or is being postponed, or it's not going to be announced soon. All right, I guess it's time to start reading, eh? Yeah. So, one moment. The Russell just spiked. Okay, so let's do a some quick research about the fact, is there tapering or not? Here we go. With respect to the path of net asset purchases, respondents to the open market desk surveys of primary dealers and the market participants expected communications on asset purchases to evolve gradually, with signals anticipated over coming months regarding both the committee's assessment of condition constituting substantial further progress and details on tapering plans. Almost 60% of respondents anticipated the first reduction in the pace of net asset purchase to come in January. January, right. So that is in about 5 months. That is, honestly, that's to be expected, to be honest. That is, what can I say? That's just a little early. That means they're going to announce it probably in the next month or so. That's 60% of participants, though on average respondents place somewhat more weight than in the June surveys on the possibility of tapering beginning somewhat earlier. With respect to the pace of tapering, respondents continue to anticipate that the committee would take a gradual approach, while market participants discuss the possibility of an earlier or faster than proportional reduction in the pace of net purchases of agency mortgage-backed securities, MBS. Most survey respondents appear to expect the timing and pace of tapering of net purchase of agency, MBS, and treasury and securities to be similar. Right, so that's interesting. So earlier than expected. The Russell is currently going up substantially right now, by the way. High multiple stocks going up quite a bit, so the market is figuring something out right now as we speak. Yeah, so many growth stocks are moving on this news. January, right? So we got a date. January is going to be what 60% of people think it's going to be, right? So it's not even guaranteed yet. So the staff noted that because plausible alternative approaches to the tapering of asset purchase would likely not lead to significant differences in the expected path of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, these approaches would have similar financial and economic effects in the staff standards framework. The presentation, hold up, what this is? Okay, let me just read from here. The presentations noted that in the staff standard empirical modeling framework, the effect of asset purchases on financial and economic conditions occurred primarily via their influence on the expected path of private sector holdings of longer-term assets. In that framework, larger Federal Reserve holdings of these assets reduce private sector holdings. Yeah, that's obvious, right? So the private sector doesn't buy bonds, they buy stocks instead, potentially. Exerting downward pressure on term premiums and consequently keeping longer-term interest rates and overall financial conditions more accommodative than they otherwise would be. The staff noted that because plausible alternative approaches to the tapering of asset purchases would likely not lead to significant differences in the expected path of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, these approaches would have similar financial and economic effects in the staff framework. Right, so this is like, okay, how is the public going to view tapering, right? That's kind of what's happening. Discussion of asset purchases. We're going to have to read this whole bad boy right now. I want to just quickly search, see if there's anything else. Participants expressed a range of views on the appropriate pace of tapering asset purchases once economic conditions satisfy the criterion laid out in the committee's guidance. Many participants saw potential benefits in a pace of tapering that would end net asset purchases before the conditions currently specified in the committee's forward guidance on the federal funds rate were likely on the federal funds rate were likely to be met. At the same time, participants indicated that the standard for raising the target range for the federal fund rates were distinct from those associated with tapering asset purchases, and remarked that the timing of those actions would depend on the course of the economy. Right, so there's a bunch of people in the committee that are currently thinking of having the tapering happen earlier, even before the criteria of the committee would be met, like even before seeing substantive progress, which basically means probably announce it in like a month or two and then start tapering in January. So, but that's only part of the committee. That's not everybody. So that's nothing there is guaranteed, right? So that could be the good news, that not everybody's deciding on that happening at this point. So markets, overall still green. Growth stocks are going up. The Dow Jones is down. The S&P is down. The Russell's up. The Nasdaq is up. Looking very interesting. Hold up. Gara, are you dumping Palantir? No, I am not dumping Palantir. Let's see. Did we get a conclusion here? Participants exchanged views on what the composition of asset purchases should be during the tapering process. So it's going to happen, right? It's not like it's not going to happen. They're clearly discussing that it's going to happen. Most participants remarked that they saw benefits in reducing the pace of net purchases of treasury securities and agency MBS proportionally in order to end both sets of purchases at the same time. These participants observed that such an approach would be consistent with the committee's understanding that purchases of treasury securities and agency MBS had similar effects on broader financial conditions that played similar roles in the transmission of monetary policy, or that these purchases were not intended as credit allocation. Some of these participants remarked, however, that they welcomed further discussion of the appropriate composition of asset purchases during the tapering process. Several participants commented on the benefits that they saw in reducing agency MBS purchases more quickly than treasury security purchases, noting that the housing sector was exceptionally strong and did not need either actual or perceived support from the Federal Reserve in the form of agency MBS purchases, or that such purchases could be interpreted as a type of credit allocation. So some participants think that, hey, we should taper down on MBS purchases more than on the treasury securities. Because the housing market is booming right now, which honestly, that does make sense. But yeah, we'll see if they're actually going to do that. Participants commented on other factors that were relevant for their consideration of future adjustments to the pace of asset purchases. Many participants noted that when a reduction in the pace of asset purchase became appropriate, it would be important that the committee clearly reaffirm the absence of any mechanical link between the timing of tapering and that of an eventual increase in the target range of the federal funds rate. Reaffirm the absence of any mechanical link between the timing of tapering and that of an eventual increase in the target range for the federal funds rate. A few participants suggested that the committee would need to be mindful of the risk that a tapering announcement that was perceived to be premature could bring into question the committee's commitment to its new monetary policy framework. Right. With respect to the effects of the pandemic, several participants indicated that they would adjust their views on the appropriate path of asset purchases if the economic effects of new strains of the virus turn out to be notably worse than currently anticipated and significantly hindered progress toward the committee's goals. That is really important. This is probably the reason why markets are not going down. There we go. That's probably the reason. I think that's probably it. If I got it wrong, please, correct me, of course. But I think that is the main reason why the market is not pulling back right now, at least not as much as people would say. I mean, obviously, the market is going up a lot today. At least the high growth stocks, the high risk stocks are coming back up. The value stocks are going down. Recovery stocks right now, as things stand, are also up slightly. Right. Very important. So they say that with respect to the effects of the pandemic, several participants indicated that they would adjust their views on the appropriate path of asset purchases if the economic effects of the new strains of the virus turn out to be notably worse than currently anticipated and significantly hindered progress towards the committee's goals. So if the virus is going to have an impact here, the Fed is just going to allow asset purchase probably. This was probably Jerome Powell and somebody else that said this, because I've heard Jerome Powell talk about this several times. So that is probably good news. It's bad news and it's good news. The bad news is, hey, the coronavirus is still here. It's still rampant. And I think staff review of the economic situation. So we have a lot more data to go through. Damn, that's a lot. That is a lot indeed. I just want to know what's going to be happening here with tapering. So long that we cover that, I think we're going to be good here. We just want to know what's going to be happening regarding that, at least for the stock market right now. Participants' comments on other factors that were relevant for the futures. Right, we've already covered this, right? So, yeah. Okay, here we go. Some participants emphasized that a decision to reduce the committee's pace of asset purchases once a substantial further progress benchmark had been achieved would be fully consistent with the committee's new monetary policy framework and would help foster the achievement of the committee's longer-run objectives over time. A couple of participants also noted that a tapering of asset purchases did not amount to a tightening of the stance of monetary policy, and instead only implied that additional monetary accommodation would be provided at a slower rate. Several participants emphasized that an announcement of a reduction in the committee's pace of asset purchase should not be interpreted as the beginning of a predetermined course for raising the federal funds rate. So it's like kind of they're kind of detaching the rate of bond purchases with the federal funds rate, which tapering in of itself, I don't think that's going to be a very bad thing here necessarily. What's very bad is that it's kind of coupled with the federal funds rate. So they're going to be raising the federal funds rate once we are done with, once they're done with buying the bonds, and that's going to happen at some point. Either it's going to be a quarter later or a couple quarters after that. But here they're kind of stressing that it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be raising the federal funds rate. So they're kind of implying that they don't want to tighten necessarily if it's not needed, which is good. This is good news, right? This is very good news. I mean, I think the market is taking it very positively. Although the market is coming down right now. I'm kind of looking at the market right now. It's coming down slightly here. C3.ai going up right now, though. C3.ai going up 1.6%. Nice. Interesting. The Fed will taper this year. No, it's not going to happen this year. It's probably going to be January. They're going to announce it this year, I think. They could announce it this year. But we don't know that yet. 60% of the participants were open to announcing it within the next months and then tapering in January. So, yeah, that's interesting. Now let's go back. Several participants emphasized that an announcement of a reduction in the committee's pace of asset purchases should not be interpreted as the beginning of a predetermined course for raising the federal funds rate from its current level. Those participants stressed that the committee's assessment regarding the appropriate timing of an increase in the target range for the federal funds rate was separate from its current deliberations on asset purchases and would be subject to the higher standard as laid out in the committee's outcome-based guidance on the federal funds rate. Nonetheless, a couple of participants cautioned that it could be challenging for the public to disentangle deliberations about the two tools, and that any decisions the committee made on its asset purchase would likely influence the public's understanding of the committee's other policy intentions, including with regard to future decisions concerning the target range for the federal funds rate. So yeah, it's going to be very difficult for us to, these two are kind of together, right? It's like tapering and then Fed funds rate go up, and they're kind of implying that, yeah, we are probably going to be confused by that we think like, hey, once they raise or once they start buying, stop buying the assets, that eventually in probably a couple months' time, we will see the rates go up. And I guess here they're actually warning us that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Oh well. Okay, let's conclude this right here. Federal Reserve preparing for taper this year. No, it's January. They never said that though. I don't think they said that. I don't think they ever said that though. That is BS. I think that is complete BS. Let me check the conclusion of this. Maybe it's, look, I could be wrong. Maybe I haven't read it all, right? So it's been only like 17 or 16 minutes. This is like 15 pages long. I'm still reading it right now. They probably have professionals reading it, like several people reading it at the same time. I'm still going through it right now. Okay, let me just see. They don't mention tapering here at all. Let me just see if they conclude. Let's see. The path of the economy continues to be dependent on the course of the virus, progressive expansion. Nothing really changed here, right? Yeah, here we go. Inflation has risen, largely reflecting transitory factors. Overall financial conditions remain accommodative, in part reflecting policy measures to support the economy and the flow of credit to U.S. households and businesses. The path of the economy continues to depend on the coronavirus, yada, yada, yada. So this is the same stuff they announce or say every single time. They didn't change anything here, I think. They're still doing this, which is the buying the bonds and MBS. Allow modest deviations from stated amounts for purchases and reinvestments if needed for operational reasons. Okay. Engage in dollar roll and coupon swap transactions as necessary. Okay, right. All right. This is nothing new. I think we need to cover. Maybe we need to cover this very briefly. We have covered everything here that was important regarding tapering, I believe. And this is, they talk about jobs and jobs added and everything. Could probably see, or at least guise a little bit what the sentiment is. We look at the words, specific words used after they say, okay, 850,000 jobs added. And then if they talk very negatively, well, that may mean that the tapering could be taking longer, etc. The overall market is doing just fine. It's doing just fine. Nothing really bad happening right now. So I'm very, very glad. Hold up. So there are apparently links, or at least news media outlets that are saying that the tapering is going to happen this year, which I haven't read anything like that so far. But yeah, it's a 15-page document. I can't really read at light speed, unfortunately. Still looking at this. Okay, let's go back to the... Here we go. Almost 60% of respondents anticipated the first reduction in the pace of net asset purchases to come in January. So that's the reduction in the pace. So that's not completely, just a reduction in pace. So it's slowly going down from January, right? Though on average, respondents placed somewhat more weight than in the June surveys on the possibility of tapering beginning somewhat earlier, right? So that's the reason why CNBC and CNN or other news outlets are coming out and saying, hey, it could happen before January. Because some people were weighing in more than the other time in June, that it could happen earlier. With respect to the pace of tapering, respondents continue to anticipate that the committee would take a gradual approach, while market participants discuss the possibility of an earlier or the faster than proportional reduction in the pace of net purchases of the agency mortgage-backed securities. Most survey respondents were to expect the timing and pace of tapering of net purchases of agency MBS and treasury. Right, so we don't know that yet. I mean, they are already starting to assume, okay, it's going to happen before January. That is not the case. 60%, that's the majority, thinks it's going to be in January. Who knows? It could be later. It could definitely still be. It could be later. What is tapering? Tapering is, well, hold up. Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, cool, fantastic. Right, so tapering is just basically, so the Fed, since Corona, right, since the outbreak, the Federal Reserve has been providing credit to the whole financial system. They've been buying treasury bills. They've been buying mortgage-backed securities. Now, they've been doing this on a monthly basis. And now, because of the economy opening back up, because, there's some inflation going on, also partially responsible, that's, the MBS purchases and the treasury bills that were purchased are also influencing that, right? Because there's more credit, there's more money to go around. So guess what's going to happen? We're going to have some inflation. And not just that, right? So we have supply issues as well. And at some point, they're going to have to stop. It's a very natural thing. At some point, you're going to it's not sustainable to be printing lots of money on a monthly basis. Like, we're talking, like, I think about 120 to 130 billion on a monthly basis. That's a lot. And so they want to stop doing that. But the problem with that is that when they stop doing that, they could also start raising rates afterwards. And that's what people are afraid of, that they're going to start raising rates a quarter or 2 quarters after, or maybe 3 quarters after the fact, right? After stopping the bond purchases. And so, yeah, that could be definitely a negative thing. Less support for the markets overall. That's what it would be. Currently looking at the market. The market is overall just doing perfectly fine, like shrugging it off, basically. Right, I'm going to say here that they're going to start tapering at some point. Right? That's the truth of it. You can't really bend it or anything. However, keep in mind, they did state that if the coronavirus becomes worse, if the situation changes, it's going to take a longer time for them to start doing it or announcing it. It's not going to happen as early. So there's still a possibility that it could be extended for a quarter or maybe 2 quarters. So, yeah. Overall, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. They also said at some point that we don't have to worry about the federal funds rate going up right after tapering necessarily. So, hey, I mean, all in all, we're not afraid of tapering. We are afraid of the federal fund rate going up. We have seen what that can actually cause to the markets. We've seen this happen before in 2018 and 2019. It was horrible. The market just overall went down 20%. And so long as they are not going to be pushing the federal fund rate up right after tapering, I think this should still all be fine. It should be perfectly fine. And that's why the market is also taking this in smoothly. I don't think the market is reacting that bad at all right now. It's actually shrugging it off, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. So far, so good, eh? This is, I want to see what happened here. I think I didn't read this necessarily. Developments in financial markets and open market operations. The manager turned first to a discussion of developments in financial markets. Although there were notable moves in some... Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can read. That's good. No, I'm kidding. There we go. The manager turned first to a discussion on the development of the financial markets. Okay, cool. There we go. Market participants seem to interpret communications associated with the June FOMC meeting as signaling a less accommodative path of monetary policy than had been anticipated. Implied rates on interest rates futures initially rose following the meeting, but subsequently retraced. And expectations regarding the path of the target federal funds rate over the next few years ended the period only modestly changed. Longer-term yields fell notably over the period, with the declines concentrated in far forward rates. A significant portion of those movements seemed to reflect changes in term premiums. Market participants pointed to a number of factors as driving the movement in longer-term yields, mostly prominently including Federal Reserve policy communications, investor positioning, and changes in expectation regarding the course of the pandemic. With respect to the path of net asset purchases, respondents to the open market desk surveys of primary dealers and the market participants expected communications on asset purchases to evolve gradually, with signals anticipated over the coming months regarding both the committee's assessment of conditions constituting substantial further progress and details on tapering plans. Right. So, and we already read this, right? So we already read this. Almost 60% of respondents anticipated the first reduction in the pace of net asset purchase to become in January, though on average. So on average, respondents were thinking about this happening earlier than January, and that's why we're seeing more headlines about it potentially happening before January. So yeah, that's the most important thing. I think we covered pretty much everything that was important for us right here, just regarding the tapering. I think if I would cover this whole thing, I would be busy for like the next 2 hours. This is a lot of information, but we got the necessary information. Yeah, this is the discussion of the asset purchases. So we read this already. If you want me to read this, actually, I've already read this, so you can go back in time into the live stream. Yeah, so we covered this. It took us about 30 minutes. So 30 minutes for this. Damn. But yeah, it's 15 pages, right? So what can I say? All right, let's go back to the charts. Whew. The Russell skyrocketing. No wonder it's skyrocketing. This is beautiful news. They're basically saying, don't worry about the Fed fund rate. And they're also saying, hey, in January, we're probably going to be starting with the tapering. They're not going to taper super fast. So they're kind of saying, hey, don't worry, basically, to the general public. It's not going to be that bad. But yeah, the media is depicting this in a kind of different way, right? The media is saying, hey, they're going to raise rates before January. Who knows? I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think so. I think it's probably going to be, they're going to probably announce it in either October or November, and then they'll start doing it in January, which makes 100% sense. If the coronavirus is not anymore a problem, they should stop the bond purchases, of course. However, if the coronavirus is still going to be a problem for us here, then guess what's going to happen? The Federal Reserve is not going to taper. They've said this, right? It's in the FOMC minutes. We covered it just a couple seconds ago. I'm fairly confident that this is going to be aiding the growth stocks out there. The Russell's going up 0.9% right now. It is shooting upwards. Tesla sitting at 690. I bought Tesla at 650, right? So let's see. Right, so we had a downturn. I tried to calm everybody down, like it's going to bounce back in like no time. We have AI Day coming up tomorrow. There you go. Went from 650 to 690. We had Neo going down to 338. Bounced back up. Didn't we say that was going to bounce? It did bounce. We had AI, right? Made a whole video about AI. It was sitting at 45.8. Now sitting at 46.8. And I think there's way more upside coming for AI. This is just the beginning of it, especially with the CPI inflecting downwards. 10 years is going downwards. The dollar is slightly upwards. We have the Fed basically saying they're going to taper in January. But if there's COVID, if there's more cases, then they're going to be delaying that. I truly think that C3 is going to be mooning for the next 2 weeks for earnings, which is going to be the first week of September. Palantir sitting at 25.7. This is one of my biggest holdings right now. Palantir. It's up 7.2% today. And we have covered this stock back when it was sitting at 22, and then we had Kathy Wood buying bulks of Palantir, and it's now sitting at 25.7. I think it's going to go up even further, although, of course, it's not going to go up in a single line. It's not just going to keep on going up like that. That is just unrealistic. It could pull back again and then gradually go up to 27, 28 over the course of the next week. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I said that C3 was going to go up at 50 as well. I know. I get what you mean. It's going to take some time. I think it's going to go above 50. It's going to go above 60. We just need them to release one freaking slither of positivity about their company, which we have not had for the past 2 months. So for the past 2 months, we hadn't had any kind of news for C3.ai. One sec. There we go. And that's the main reason why the company's been, or at least the company's stock has been going down ever since. Hold up 1 second. Oh wow, Netlist is going up quite a bit right now. Netlist up 10.5%. Robinhood. Remember, the arrow that we drew for Robinhood. That's the arrow. That's the stock price. It's now sitting at 50.3 for earnings. Yeah, Robinhood is going to be reporting earnings after the closing bell. I am going to be covering Robinhood earnings for the people that were wondering. I will be covering the earnings report. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to recover the webcast because it's going to be very, very late for me at that time. But I will be covering the earnings report for Robinhood after the bell. Yeah, DIDI down. Look at that. DIDI's down 5 percentage points. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? Yeah, I personally think... Oh, wow. Palantir just came up with a new video. Palantir on YouTube coming up with a new video.
Palantir's Meta Constellation software harnesses the power of growing satellite constellations.
Should we watch the Palantir video? Do we want to watch the new Palantir video? They just, literally, just a second ago, released a new video. Should we watch it together? Do we want to do that right now? Hold up, let me see. The hell? Tom Nash's life? What is Tom Nash doing? Oh, wait, he's doing his podcast probably or something. That's interesting. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, that's cool. I'll probably watch that later on. All right, let's see. Palantir deploying AI into orbit. Let's see what everybody said. Yes. All right. So, okay, we're gonna watch this together. All right. All right. They literally just released it, and for some reason I can't find their YouTube. That's weird. Oh, there we go. All right, found it.
Palantir's Meta
hold on, let me just... There we go.
Constellation software harnesses the power of growing satellite constellations, deploying AI into space to provide insights to decision makers here on Earth. Our Meta constellation integrates with existing satellites, optimizing hundreds of orbital sensors and AI models, and allowing users to ask time-sensitive questions across the entire planet. Important questions, like where are there indicators of wildfires? Or how are climate changes affecting crop productivity? And when and where are it's conducting operations? Meta Constellation pushes Palantir's Edge AI technology to a new frontier.
Edge AI.
As we all know, submarines present threats to the U.S. and its allies. And to protect strategic interests, Allied forces need to track every submarine's deployment around the world. And at the forefront of this challenge are...
I think I've already watched this, though. I think I've probably already watched this yeah, we have already watched this, actually, for earnings. This is nothing new. Yeah, they actually showed this for earnings. Yeah, this is basically the software they use to track everything across the globe using AI, tracking things like submarines and pretty much everything through their software, right? So I thought this was something new. That's a bit of a disappointment. But it's still pretty cool. Really cool, right? It's really nice. They uploaded it on the channel. There we go. All right, back to stocks. Yeah, this is... I briefly thought that it was actually a... what is it? Oh, there we go. A new video, but it wasn't. Oopsie. Got me excited for a second, like, oh gosh. They're going to announce something that we don't know yet? That's really cool. But yeah, did not happen. Wow, my portfolio is just skyrocketing right now. It's wild. Oh, one sec. There we go. Virgin Galactic is up 1.27%. I cannot believe it. Like, AI is only up 1.8% after the massive downturns we've seen. Like, this is... Look at this. This is a 13% downturn. Another 8% downturn. Then we had a 8.9% downturn. And not even speaking of this. Right? So, huge downturns. Still not able to zoom back up. It's either the majority of people are absolutely wrong about this company, or this company is about to implode. And it's not going to implode because it has enough money to be surviving for the next coming years. So, I have to say, the patience on this one, from the stocks that have ever held, I mean, it's been wild, to say the least. I'm seeing my portfolio go up, so I'm happy. Well, I bet a lot of people are happy right now. Let's see. Gara, honestly, technicals look super poor in Palantir. That's not true. I think technicals are looking pretty darn strong. It's pretty darn strong on Palantir right now. Woo. Looking really good. You know why I'm saying that? Well, look at this. This is the weekly chart for Palantir. Looks like the weekly chart is about to go positive. And it's about to cross to the upside. And when that happens, I mean, it's going to go straight to $30, right? So this is looking very strong. This is looking like we're going to see a massive leg upwards and maybe fill the gap up to 31, honestly. So, can't complain about this. This is looking really darn good for Palantir. The daily chart is showing positivity as well. It looks like it's going to straight up boom for the next coming weeks, all the way up to 30. So yeah, technicals are looking all right. It's looking fine. Can't complain about this. We just need the market to remain stable and to remain positive. Alright, let's see what's happening here for my boy DIDI. No, DIDI is actually not doing so well right now. DIDI is down 5%, which is, you know, it's a Chinese stock. You know, a lot of people have been complaining, oh, it's an ADR. It's you're not buying the actual stock. I don't buy into that necessarily, because Neo has the same structure at the Cayman Islands, and there are many stocks like that, and those stocks have been doing well. I don't think DIDI should be an exception. I think right after the whole China probe, which is ending right now, we're about to see that end. Once we know what the penalties are, and we are now obviously getting the news that the penalty could be that DIDI is going to be capped in terms of how much of a commission they can have as a fee. So China's deciding how much they can earn per ride, because it's a ride-hailing company, right? And that is quite interesting. We got a donation from Masras coming in here with a $5 donation. Neo, Lucid, Wish. Sorry, I'm not going to cover all three of those. I will cover, I'll cover Neo and Lucid, no problem. After the FOMC meeting. I don't want to cover Wish at all after what happened recently. I mean, the stock just got absolutely destroyed. And yeah, let's see. Neo is sitting at 39.5. I personally bought some Neo stock right around 38, right? So 38, 38.5. I bought the dip there. I'm very happy about this, because right prior to it going up, I said, you know, look at that arrow. We drew that arrow like I think that was a couple days ago even. That it would be bouncing back up right around the trend line. And that's exactly what is happening right now. In fact, Tesla's going up as well, sitting at 693.4. Neo now sitting at 39.5. MACD's crossing on the 4 hours. RSI zooming back up, about to fill the gap to the 40s. I think it's going to go to the 40s. It's going to go to the 40s, probably fill the gap to the 41. I mean, at this point, it makes sense for it to fill the gap completely. And what is happening to everything? Is just zooming back up. Damn, that's wild. Yeah, so fill the gap. In fact, could we see even more than that? Probably. I mean, at this point. Hold up. Yeah, we don't have any negative catalysts to the downside anymore, so I think it's just going to keep going up. 42? Short term, I think 42 could be reached, but we're still descending downwards. So we still have this descending path overall. But it seems like we could definitely reach around 42. Maybe even 43. And with Lucid Motors, I mean, it could come back to like 23, 24. But I think overall, I think Lucid Motors is just going to be stuck in that lower $20 range. This is a strong support at this point. You can see how many times it held up. MACD is potentially going to go up. I don't see anything significant happening for the coming weeks. It might pull up with AI Day back to 23, 24. But yeah, that's Lucid Motors. I mean, they have nothing to be announcing or anything like that. It's sitting at a market cap of 36 billion, so yeah. All right, let's see. 1 second. Why would you not cover Wish? I paid you. You donated to the channel. I decided to look at your stock willingly. You don't have to donate. If you don't want to donate, then don't donate. Honestly, I look at your stocks willingly. And I decide at which stocks I will take a look at. Like I've said before, I won't look at stocks that have a lower market cap than 500 million. In fact, somebody could donate $1 and then list like 50 stocks. Like, hey, Gara, please look at 50 stocks right now. And nobody else in the stream is going to be able to say or ask me or tell me which other stock I can look at. So I decided on my own. I'm not obliged to take a look at your stock, even if you donate, but I will, because I think most stocks that people want me to take a look at are worth to be taking a look at. And sometimes, you know, with a smaller market cap below 500 million, I will not look at that stock because it's most of the time it's a pump and dump. Like very, very often I've seen that happen, and it's very dangerous. So yeah. Let's see. All right, so somebody is being rude. All right. There we go. I just removed somebody from the moderator list. See, that's what I don't like. When people become disrespectful, it's I don't know what to say about it. That's just I kind of find that disgusting in some sense. It's like you can just respect each other, just have a good time, chillax, relax. I mean, but it's normal. It's the stock market. You know, I say it every single time. This is the stock market. This is where people lose fortunes, right? And some people lose fortunes. And I also say that I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice because, well, it's a risky place to be in, the stock market. In fact, I blew up my own portfolio several times, year after year, until I started to grasp and understand how this market works. And even now, I make mistakes. C3.ai is an example of that. To be clear, if you donate to Lucid Trading, it does not mean I will do whatever you want me to say or to look at or whatever. You donate on your own behalf, right? Because you want to support the stream, because you want to support the channel, right? With that money, I will improve the quality of the streams over time, improve the videos as well. But I will look at your stocks. If I think the stocks are genuinely awesome, then I will take a look at your stocks, no problem. I've been doing that every single day for the past 8 months, and I will continue to do that. And if you don't want to donate, then don't donate. You don't have to. All right, let's see. Interesting. Robinhood up 7 percentage points right now. Wow, Netlist is about to just pop above 7. It is up 11.5%. Congrats to anybody holding Netlist right now. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Hold up, let's see. There we go. Virgin Galactic up 2%. This is a fantastic day in the market. I think it has to do with the fact that the FOMC minutes were not that bad. We're seeing everything that went down just go back up, and it's just recovering from the lower positions that we've seen. Gregory Lewis coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. That is awesome. I'm not going to read that out loud, but cheers. Thank you, Gregory. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Hold up. I need to quickly take a look at this stock right now. Yeah, DIDI is looking awful. Whoa. If you guys can give me 1 second, that would be great. I'm just quickly checking something out right now. All right. In fact, I think most stocks that are down right now, at least the ones that I've covered so far, the plays are still intact. The fundamentals are still strong. The market has not realized the potential yet. I think that's what's happening right now. It's going to play out in the coming weeks and months. We're talking about C3, right? We're talking about the DIDI. The DIDI, that sounds really funny. It really does. Hold up. I would like to donate, but I don't know how to. I think you can donate through the YouTube super chats. There's also a PayPal link in the description if you want to donate. And like I said, a donation, I mean, it's just it's a sign of kindness. It's just, if you think I provide good information about stocks and how to trade and everything, then I will happily accept your donations. You don't have to donate, once again. Just to be clear, to be very clear, I make most of my money from trading stocks, not from YouTube. Most of my money that I earn on a monthly basis comes from stocks. This is stocks like Robinhood, DIDI, etc. Right? So I cash in every month. So far, my main income has been stocks. YouTube is a great add-on to that. All the money that I get from YouTube, most of it, I put back into the YouTube channel, into equipment, into, like moving out, and the overall quality of the channel, the overall quality of everything that we do, that gets improved with the capital that we get from YouTube. I live on the cash that I get from stocks. I literally preach what I teach. That I'm not joking. So yeah. I just wanted to be clear, just so that people understand. I'm not forcing anybody for any donations, and if I do, it will be for a charity. Right. All right. So we got a donation, a €1 donation from Anisa Shahini. Thank you, Anisa. Appreciate it. I do know that Anisa has donated several times. Hey, Gara, sorry about that guy. Lucid Trading always needs positive energy. And also, could you check Nano Dimension? It is flying right now. Hold up, one sec. We got another donation. John Blunt coming in here with 20 Swedish krone. John Blunt says, please don't ask too much of Gara, just one stock. I mean, I personally, I kind of weigh it in like this. I could cover somebody's donation if it's like 5 stocks, sure. But guess what's going to happen? People don't want to see 5 random stocks, right? I know which stocks are popular, which are the ones that people want to see. But I kind of weigh in, if it's a really large donation, I might consider covering more stocks in one go. But it depends, right? It really does depend. I am a little bit biased like that. All right, let's see what's happening here on the Discord. There we go. Let me just invite everybody back into the Discord, into the YouTube live right now for Power Hour after FOMC minutes. Wow. There we go. Gara, seems like you need another holiday now. I'm good. Lionel coming in with a $5 donation and says, this is for your chicken tendies. Thank you for the chicken tendies. Appreciate it a lot. Cheers. Hold up. Yeah, it's all chill. Just be respectful to each other. Just have a good time, exchange information with each other, have, communicate, do whatever. But be respectful, right? Nano Dimension going up. Look at that arrow. You see the arrow right there? Let's go. And this is because the CPI is lower, 10 years lower, the dollar's going up slightly. Yes, and it's oversold. But this is just the beginning, right? So this is a small move. It's a relatively small move of about 8.5%. I mean, the stock is still down significantly, but I'm very happy for anybody holding Nano Dimension. It is starting to move up. We'll see what's going to happen for earnings. I don't think it's reported yet, although I can quickly check if that's the case. Hold up. Nano Dimension earnings. Investor relations. There we go. All right. Yeah, I've covered Nano Dimension this in the past as a buying opportunity. I think at the time it was sitting at like at $2 or $3. And I remember saying that it was going to go up substantially. It went up substantially, all right. Investors, financial information. Q2. Oh, yeah, they reported it. Oh, fantastic. All right, so they already reported Q2 earnings. Must have been prior to the market opening up, maybe. Hold up, let me check. Let's see. Total current assets in thousand. Whoa. What? What? No freaking way. Hold up. What's the market cap of Nano Dimension? What? Well, I'm gonna show you this. Hold up, one sec. I'm gonna show this to everybody out there. Let me zoom in a little bit so you know. So this is earnings for Nano Dimension, right? Right here. So this is earnings for Nano Dimension. And look at this. Total current assets, 1.3 billion. That is wild. 1.3 billion in total assets. Nano Dimension's market cap is like 1.4 billion or something. So if anything, I mean, the whole market cap, you can it's a 1-to-1 ratio into the assets that they have. But like, of course, it's important to see what their liabilities are. But they have no liabilities. They've got zero, very close to zero liabilities in comparison to the assets that they have. And look at that total non-current assets, 205 million. So this is in thousands, right? So in thousands, which basically means this is 205 million. This is 1.5 billion, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I'm seeing right now. That means it's fundamentally undervalued. I think Nano Dimension is probably going to go up substantially more from here. This is wild, man. This is very cheap stock. But they have no, I think they don't have any revenue, right? So, not a whole lot. They have lots of equity right now. Let's see. Wow, this is very ugly, by the way. In thousands of US dollars. Balance as of... this is all I wanted to see. So they have lots of assets right now. With the assets they can... look at that cash. 1 billion in cash. Straight up, like 1 billion in cash. Just chilling. Let me see if they reported anything. The total revenues for the second quarter of 2021 were $811,000 compared to $800,000. Okay, so they didn't quite improve yet, right? They're still focusing on research and development, and they have plenty of capital, to be honest, to be focusing on research and development and marketing. So they're spending lots of money on marketing. They're spending lots of money on the research and development side of things. You know, administrative expenses. Very promising. I think I am buying Nano Dimension right now. I'm going to be buying more Nano Dimension as we speak. I have already covered the fundamentals of this company. I think 3D printing is the future, and it's just going to be a matter of time, right? So we're talking 5 to 10 years, and they'll be massive. So yeah, I like this. There's a good reason why it's up. I think it's just the market cap is sitting so incredibly low versus what's actually on the balance sheet. I mean, okay. Let's go back to business. Let's go back to Nano Dimension, right? Yeah. I think we had another donation coming in here from it's Power Hour, by the way. It is Power Hour right now as we speak. Power Hour coming in right now. Let's go. Make sure you smash the like button if you appreciate Lucid Trading. If you like me, if you dislike me, just hit the like button. Thank you very much. If we hit 150 likes, then I will answer every question that will be asked in the live chat. So yeah, we had a donation come up from Dan Williams. It's a $5 donation. Dan says, King Gara, this is not about a specific stock, but what books do you recommend to read to learn about trading? Technical analysis / mindset. You're lucky. You're lucky because I got all my books right now. I'm going to show you on stream which books I personally have read and I'm currently reading. Just hold up. I'm going to actually fill my bottle with water as well because I'm really thirsty at this moment. Be right back. might. So I got these for you guys. All right, this is just like half of it probably, but I'm an avid reader. I really love reading. Whew, I believe that the best way of taking in information is by reading books. Hold up. Whew, that was really heavy. Wow, Tesla's going up. Neo's going up. AI pulling back up. Let's freaking go. Let's watch Tesla right now. This is the arrow that I drew for Tesla. And it's going well so far, I have to say. That's looking pretty good. We have AI Day coming up tomorrow. Alright, so let's just start off with mindset, right? So mindset is very important. I read this book when I was 19, I think, or 20 years old. 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Really, really good book. Let's see. Another book, Tools of Titans. This is also by Tim Ferriss. These are tools of Titans, basically advice that billionaires give to plebs like us. Let's see. Let's put them by. Okay, so it's another one with it's about mindset. Principles from Ray Dalio. Really, really good book. I've read this fairly recently, but I didn't buy the book yet. I actually read it online. I bought the book recently. Good book. Hold up. Let's see. One Up on Wall Street. Yeah, I've read this book like I think 4 years ago. Very nice. Bought the book recently just to have it physically, right? Very good book by Peter Lynch. Gets you completely in the mindset of where to start with investing and trading and whatnot. I especially like the humor of this guy. This guy is awesome. Oops. Ooh. Now, this is like a bit of a boring one. This is The Wealth of Nations. I haven't completely read this book yet, but, you know, I'm getting through it. I'm like halfway through this book. It's a little boring, I think. It's a little old as well. But it kind of is very important to grasp the economic side of things. Because that's also very, very important with trading and investing, to understand how the economies work, and, you know, back in the day, and how have we come from back then to now where we are at right now. So I would definitely recommend this book. I should probably make a list of these. I have read both of these in 2019, I believe. Hold up, let me see. I think this one was... Yeah, I don't even remember the titles of these. Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets, a comprehensive guide to trading methods and applications. That's this one. Very boring. I can tell you that. It's incredibly boring, but useful. The Successful Investor's Guide to Spotting Investment Trends and Turning Points. Technical Analysis explained by Martin J. Pring. Very, very thick book. I don't like the theory of technical analysis, but I like the practice of it. So, yeah. I'm going to put these books right here. Oh, boy. Hopefully there's some people still watching. There's a couple more books I want to show, and then that's it. Because I've been asked this question way often. Like, it's like, which book should I read or whatnot? I'm gonna do it in one go. I might actually make a clip out of it, right? So of the books that I've read. Should I do that? Yes or no? Let me know in the live chat. All right. Okay, so these are the last ones I'm going to cover. Hold up. Jordan Peterson, Beyond Order. Another one for the spiritual ones. This is a book about mindsets. Another one for the people that need to fix their mindset. This is called Thinking Fast and Slow. Super interesting book. And obviously, the biography of Elon Musk. There's a new one coming out very soon. I also wanted to show the biography of Steve Jobs, but I don't have it with me. But I would highly recommend that one. It is just beautiful. Just for the mindset, right? And lastly, the Holy Bible of Investing, The Intelligent Investor. I cannot recommend this book enough. This is a very, very good book to be reading. It's hard to read. It can be boring at times. Valuable information resides in it. Definitely make sure you've read this book, if anything. The Intelligent Investor. I think Benjamin Graham, one of the mentors of Warren Buffett. So those are the books that I would recommend. And there will be many books that I probably did not mention, right? Where the hell's my water bottle? Oh, there we go. Right, so, yeah, that's, books are very important. I think reading books is the best way to be able to gather knowledge. At least, it depends, from person to person. Some people like to watch videos. Some people prefer to read only occasionally. And then other people would like to listen to somebody, just auditory. Hey Gara, this is not a question. I personally want to thank you. I got benefited a lot through your technical analysis on Tesla last year and started learning technical analysis. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that comment. That is one of the reasons why I do this, because some people benefit from it, some people learn from it, and honestly, that really warms my heart. That is really, really great. I think technical analysis can be very beneficial, although it's not everything. I think fundamental analysis always it trumps over technical analysis, right? So, very important is to keep that in mind. That the technical analysis that we do, it's not everything. It's just part of a whole. Like we have the fundamentals, we have the technicals, macros, micros, etc. And it fits in to that whole. Readers are leaders. I do believe that. I think you have to, in order to be a good reader, you have to be, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a reader, right? So. All right, enough of that. A lot of this. I'm very happy about today. Today is a good day. However, there are professional students out there that only read and do nothing. Yeah, I think there's definitely downside to that. Gara, could you give us a tour of your new studio? It's actually way too dirty still. I'm gonna have to clean it up maybe then. I think that would be nice. Oh, we hit 150 likes. All right. Ask me any question in the live chat and I will answer. I shall answer. All right, so ask me any questions. We hit 150 likes. So like I said, we will be answering all the questions. Let me know in the live chat. Ask away. Go ahead. Yeah, Tesla's sitting at 695.5. It's up 4.5 percentage points. Yeah, it's wild. Look at this. That's a quick 10% downturn right there. Unbelievable. Almost all the predictions that we made just the past week came true. Almost all of them. I would say 90% of them. Looking pretty good. Including, you know, Nano Dimension. I think we deleted the Bionano Genomics one. That was wrong. Facebook. What's Apple? Wow. Oh my god. Apple's coming down really darn fast right now. Down 1.7%. Wild. Tesla is still, I mean, we're halfway there, right? I mean, we were sitting at 730 recently. It's, you know, still down like, let me check. 5%. But yeah, we have AI Day coming up tomorrow. We will be covering AI Day tomorrow, by the way. We will live stream AI Day tomorrow. I think it's going to be 2 p.m. I think 2 p.m. Gara, your prediction on C3.ai is so accurate. We'll see. I think you can say it's accurate once we hit 75. 60 to about 75. And this is nothing. Like, we're getting nothing right now. This is peanuts. It's only up 1.8%. I mean, that's in comparison to the 75% downturn that we've seen the past couple months. A 1.8% move to the upside is nothing. It is very little. Fairly recently, this was the all-time low. In fact, we're sitting lower than the all-time low that we recently had. I mean, it's keeping me, it's aggravating me right now. It's like, what the hell's happening with this company? Like, why the hell does it not proceed to go upwards? It's just down, 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 down. Meanwhile, the balance sheet is not even that bad. Uh, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Come on, man. Just move already. Just move. Yeah, we can't do anything about it. I mean, this is not in our influence, right? We can just watch it go down and up, but at the end of the day, it's the market that decides. Tesla sitting at 695. It's holding it, although I'm seeing some stocks slowly go down. Although Netlist is not going down. Netlist is going to the moon. Sitting at 7.1 right now. I think there's good reason that it's going up. And it should be going up, to be honest. Like, it should probably keep going up. Gara, what is your prediction on Amazon? Let's see. I'll be answering the questions in a moment, right? So that's what I said. Once we hit 150 likes, I would be answering all your questions. I'll do that in about let's say 2 minutes. So if you want to ask me a question, I will answer, right? So ask me a question right now, and I'll answer in about 2 minutes. I'll answer every single question out there. I think Nano Dimension is cheap. I think it's probably going to go back to... it's going to reach that $7 in no time. I'll give it like 2 weeks from here. It's going to go all the way back. And looking at... Yeah, AI is just still failing to go up right now. Palantir is consolidating after this move that we had to the upside, probably caused by Cathie Wood buying into Palantir again. Most likely, I would say. Tesla sitting at 694.7. All right, interesting. Oh, one sec. Uh, 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern time. Huh, what? No, that's not correct. No way. Is that the case? 8 p.m. Eastern time? Is that right? No way. Hold on, let me just check. I'm gonna check their investor relations. I think it was 2 p.m. Eastern time, right? They actually said that on Twitter at least. I think. Wait, yeah, 2 p.m. That's a little early. It's not. Yeah, it is early. I don't think it makes sense. Press releases. Is it Pacific? It's 8 p.m. Eastern time. Danny coming in here with a €2 donation. What do you think for Alibaba for the next couple weeks? I think Alibaba is going to go up. I really do think it's going to go up from here. I think there's a high probability Alibaba is just going to go back up. I mean, for the next 2 weeks. But I've been saying this at 190 as well, and I've been saying this about Alibaba at 180, and then every single time the Chinese government is making things worse. So yeah, that's very difficult. But yeah, we're sitting at lows where, I mean, this is like, it's getting ridiculous, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Meanwhile, the revenues are still pretty darn strong. Yeah, it's really strong. So the fundamentals are strong, but the stock is down. Interesting. Should I just buy some Alibaba? I should probably do that. I bought some Alibaba like 174 right now. It's incredibly oversold. Yeah, even if you take a look at this bearish trend that we had, it's right on the bearish trend. Like, how much lower is it going to go? Like, either we have the stock market crashing here, or Alibaba's just going to bounce back up. And consider this: they had good earnings. They had pretty good earnings. I'm coughing a lot recently. It's a little worrisome. It's just a little bit worrisome. There we go. Yeah, so if we just take a look at the bearish channel that we're currently in for Alibaba, there's a high probability of Alibaba to just bounce back. Like, we're talking straight up bounce all the way back to the 190s for the coming days, right? That would be a nice 10% move. And there are gaps to be filled as well. It's just, yeah, oversold on the daily chart, oversold on the weekly chart. I mean, when was the last time that Alibaba was down this much on the RSI here on the weekly? That was in 2015. It was during the downturn that we had with the tapering. So, I mean, it's almost definitely going to come back up. No matter what CNBC is going to say, the fundamentals on Alibaba are still strong. And I think the Chinese government is almost done with the regulations and everything. So I think that's going to calm down for the next year or so. Alibaba's too important for China to fill. Yeah, exactly. It is. It literally is. Same for DIDI, by the way. DIDI is massive. 500 million people use DIDI. 13 million drivers are using it. It is vital for these companies to be succeeding for China. And they're not going to be destroying their own companies. Not those companies, at least. They will modify the companies to their needs, but they're not going to destroy these companies. I don't think they're going to do that. That's my assumption right here. And I have nothing against the Chinese companies. I mean, the CCP can be quite controversial, though. So, but that's already priced into the stock for many of these. I couldn't help myself. I bought some Alibaba, roughly, let's just say 10 shares, right? So, yeah, we'll do. I could not help myself. It's sitting at 174. I really couldn't help myself. 174. Come on, man. How much lower is it going to go? It could go lower. I mean, for sure. If the market goes down, it's going to go down. But it's like, it's down almost 50% from its all-time high. That is absolutely wild. It's like Amazon sitting 50% lower. That would be a buying opportunity, right? So, obviously, it's not the same, of course, but still, I mean, Alibaba is a wide-reaching company. Alright, so like I promised, I will be answering all your questions that you asked recently in the chat. While I am doing this, you can ask me new questions, and hey, if we reach 200 likes, we'll be doing this again. Let's see, there we go. Alright, so let's see, what are the questions that we got? Gara, do you own... I'm gonna have to switch to Tesla stock, probably. I want to see what's happening to this bad boy. Let's go 1 hour chart. Let's just do the 1 minute, right? I think that's the most exciting chart. Going up and down, up and down. All right. Oh, it's getting really dark here. Let me just quickly adjust the lighting. Okay, so my light just fell. Fantastic. There we go. All right. Gara, do you own FNGU shares? What do you think about the stock? No, I don't own them. Gara, do you think Robinhood will shoot after earnings tomorrow? Yes, I do think so. I think they're going to do good with earnings. What time is Tesla AI Day tomorrow? I think it was 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see. Gara, how many shares of AI do you currently own? I think I currently own... Let me think about it. Let me check. $500 shares. Roughly 500 shares. Because I have some in several portfolios because I use different trading apps to trade. Just in case, right? Because I'm actually afraid that one of the trading apps that I use might go bankrupt at some point. Who knows? I got 500 shares of AI right now. Name a stock that is great for trading. I personally like C3.ai right now a lot at the current prices. Very cheap prices. What is your honest opinion about SoFi? I think SoFi has great potential. That's all I'm going to say. Will Palantir hit $30 this week? This week? Maybe. There is a chance that the Wall Street Bets crew is going to jump on it and it just jumps. I think 26, 27 seems to be likely at this point. But 30 this week? I'm not so sure about that. Where do you see DIDI at the end of next week? Somewhere between $10 and $12, I think. Probably closer to 12. Are you happy with your new apartment? Yes, I'm very, very happy. It's awesome. Gara, have you ever fallen victim to a pump and dump stock? C3.ai. I mean, it's a good example. The hedge funds pumped it up, and then they dumped all... They pretty much dumped everything on the retail traders. But I don't necessarily mind it as much because they have good fundamentals, C3. So, but I do think it was a pump and dump by the hedge funds. In hindsight, for the most part. At least that's my thesis. I think it might have been a pump and dump. Because I've seen these hedge funds keep selling C3.ai right after the 10-year actually shot up. So they pumped it up, dumped it. But they do this with many stocks. They've done this with Tesla. They've done this with Neo. They've done this with many, many stocks out there. And it's going to keep on happening because, to be frank, I mean, nobody's going to do anything about it. Are you mad at Masras? No. No, I'm not mad at anybody right now. Why should I be mad? Did anything change from the FOMC notes? Yeah, I think what changed is... well, we got some information, right? We got some information about the market. We now know that, obviously, if Corona is going to keep on being a thing, they're going to delay. They're going to probably delay the tapering. And we also know that they want to taper in January, for the most part. So, and they also talked about the fact that the Fed fund rate doesn't necessarily have to go up if we stop buying bonds. So, interesting information. Will Tesla keep climbing tomorrow? I think that's actually quite likely. It might fall either at the end of the day or maybe tomorrow, depending on the news that we get. But if full self-driving is actually complete, if they come out and say, hey, we're done, we just need to do these little things, then, of course, the stock is going to climb further. If rates go up, how much percentage will stocks go down, and how much time will it need to return? If rates go up, how much will stocks go down? Well, think a market crash. That's just what I'm thinking right now, at least. Is Amazon a good buy? I don't like Amazon right now because they benefited from COVID and now they're kind of going flat. Gara, thoughts on Neo in the long term? I think for this year, probably if they keep growing fast and faster than expected, then they could possibly go back to around $70, maybe go 80, close to the all-time high in Q4. Long term, I'm not so sure because, obviously we're going to have tapering. We're going to have the Fed is going to raise rates. The ECB is going to probably raise rates at some point too. It's not if rates go up. It's a matter of when. Exactly. It's exactly that. They're going to raise rates at some point. Probably around January, maybe a little bit later. Can Palantir make it to 30 this year? Yes, definitely. I think in the next weeks we're going to watch it go to 30. I'll give it 2 to 3 weeks max. So, yeah. Let's see. Top 3 stocks to swing trade. I love swing trading Tesla. I've been doing it for a long time. I swing trade Palantir. I've been swing trading Robinhood has been a good swing trade too. But that's my opinion. That's actually, I'm not a financial advisor, by the way. Don't do what I do. This is not financial advice. But these are the stocks I swing trade very often. Will you buy the triple leverage Russell? No. Is that a green shirt you're wearing? It's not green. It's kind of like dark, very dark green. It's dark light green. Yeah, it's not really green. It's kind of gray. Gara, my sister-in-law asked me to ask for your phone number. LOL. That's the question. Haha. Did you ban Baron? Yes. What's gone wrong with Amazon? Jeff Bezos is gone. Do you think Jumia will go up for the next weeks? Probably, because it's a growth stock. Hey, Gara, stay calm and lead us. Thank you for your help. Thank you for that comment. Appreciate it. Let's see. Like I said, if we hit 200 likes, we're going to do this again with the questions. I think I've answered enough questions here. All right. Cheers. Is PayPal a good buy? I can't tell you that necessarily. Oh, Tesla's pulling back. Neo's pulling back. The market is pulling back. Wow, look at that. What the frick? What? Am I seeing this right? The Russell goes up for once and it just plummets right after? Nah, that's just unfair. That is just unfair. Look at that. There we go. That kept bounce. Damn. Russell negative again. The indices now going negative too. Just across the board. But yeah, I have to say the Dow Jones is going down the most right now. The S&P down to, look at that. Same pattern as well. Just across the board. It has to do with the FOMC, obviously. Probably the algos. Let me just quickly check my portfolio. What, Alibaba's going negative again? You what, mate? It's wild. Oh, Alibaba's sitting at like 172 at some point, right? Yeah. Yep. Oh, wow. BYD has been doing pretty good. The whole market is coming down. The whole freaking market. Although Tesla's doing pretty good. It's sitting at like 690. can't complain about Tesla right now. Like, it's looking pretty good. That's wild. What the hell? The Russell has been moving so incredibly weird just the past months. Since the rotation, it's just been it's almost predictable in some sense, because it's like what we kind of get is like it's sort of this shape, right? So the U very, very often. Where we have the market going down during the day, and then it recovers at the end of it, or it recovers the day after, and then just back and forth like that. Pretty much going sideways, right? So, I mean, that's what we've been seeing. We're still waiting for that CPI report coming out, indicating that we're going to see an inflection point to the downside. But yeah, I mean, I would say stocks overall are doing pretty good. Like, we cannot complain here. This is a pretty good outcome. Yeah, Apple down 2%. Wow. They didn't think it was going to happen that fast. Netlist. Freaking Netlist up 14% right now. Sub me in here as mod. I'm here every stream. I have to agree with that. Alright, DOS, you're a moderator. We removed the moderator, and I think DOS can be a good moderator. Let's see how you perform. Alright. 1 sec. Yeah, we said Netlist was a great buying opportunity around 5.7. It's now sitting at 7.14, which is wild. Obviously, I mean, I've covered Netlist back when it was like $3. Back when Rocket Launcher, one of our moderators, told us to take a look at the stock, and we did the fundamental analysis. The stock was going to fly, and I forgot to buy the stock, and it went all the way to $10, and I was like, damn. I made a big mistake, and then it fell all the way back to 5. I bought some stock at 5.7, been holding ever since. It's now sitting at 7.2. I'm very glad about that, but I think there's more upside coming for Netlist for the next 6 months. Yeah, Netlist is just flying right now. Still up 14.5%. Robinhood up 7% for the earnings that they're going to have today. We have Virgin Galactic slightly up. MACD about to cross. Do think it's going to spike back to around 26, 27 short term. Probably tomorrow, I think. Value stocks down. Look at that. Big downturns. Coca-Cola getting demolished. Verizon down. Procter & Gamble, Chevron, all of them. Banking stocks down. Semiconductors down. Big tech down. Guess what's up right now? It's C3.ai. It's Palantir. It's Snowflake. It's Tesla, the Neo, Li Auto, Xpeng. Lucid Motors up slightly, right? So, looking interesting. Bitcoin down, like I said. Dead cat bounce is not going to last. It's not going to go to the all-time high. We're going to see it move downwards close to that 30K. It's just a dead cat bounce, right? So we don't have any big catalysts coming up for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. I do think that as we get closer to 2024, like over the next 2 years, we're going to see some wild movements to the upside for Bitcoin. But there's still a lot of time left between now and then, though. Right. I am going to be turning on the membership only mode. So if you are a member, ask me any question. LM coming in here with a €5 donation. Can you check Kinross Gold Corporation? They have good financial fundamentals and never had... and never bad to have a bit of gold in the portfolio. Kinross Gold Corporation. Let me take a look at that. Hold up, Kinross. I'm going to be opening up a poll right now. I think it would be pretty good. Situation in Afghanistan is deteriorating very quickly. Let me check. Is that really the case? Hold up. No, I'm not seeing anything. What is the membership level required? Oh, I think you need the YouTube membership, right? To be able to speak when the membership only mode is activated. I think that's the idea, right? Yeah. Yeah. Cheers for that donation, Gregory. Appreciate the $2. And so what was the company called? Kinross Gold Corporation, right? Well, Alibaba's still heading down. It's just wild. It just does not go down. It just doesn't stop going down. That's just interesting. All right. Kinross Gold. Looks like we broke through support. Yeah, if we break through this level right now, I mean, 5.5 seems to maybe act as a support, but below that, it will get really messy. Non-energy minerals, precious metals, 7.3 billion market cap, sitting right at the 200-day moving average as well. I personally think CPI is going to go down, and that is going to have an impact on gold. Gold is going to go down, and we're getting out of a pandemic, so that's going to have a, gold is going to get crushed, probably. But yeah, it is sitting at the 200-day moving average. That much is true. Okay, we might see a bit of a spike initially before everything goes down, probably. And this, Kinross has come down a bit as well. I wouldn't necessarily consider this a stock I would want to add to my portfolio. At least not right now. Maybe next year. Like, that has been the trend. And now we are actually seeing that downturn trend kind of weaken. It's not going down as fast. Although this massive move, wow, that is wild. Right after dividends. We have dividends here as well, or? Yeah, right. We have dividends coming up. Alright, let's just say that this is a support level around 5.5, where it could be bouncing off of. Interesting. I think short term, it might actually bounce a little bit right after dividends possibly get back to around 6.3, 6.4. I don't think it's going to be moving a lot, though. Mostly sideways, if anything, probably. Sorry for asking again. Where do you think Tesla will go end of week, end of month? Yeah, I think end of week, probably still around 730, 750. In between that range. End of month, I think maybe the lower 700s. How about Apple, Gara, dropping a bit today? Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a second. Alex Wong, not out of the woods yet. Sometimes this thing can drop 40 cents. Yeah, right. BNGO, please, Gara. We'll take a look at BNGO in a second. Do you think XPeng and Lee are a better bet than Neo in the next few weeks for swing trades? No, I think Neo's looking pretty good right now. The current price. Bumble, why? What? Okay. This is something with Bumble. BNGO is dumping Gara. VIX is spiking up again. UVXY can't stop. Yep, all the markets are red and still dropping. Here comes another chance to buy. Okay, right. So, is the market coming down? Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So, the market is coming down right now as we speak. Like, right as we speak. We're seeing Alibaba come down here as well. Yeah, and Alibaba is just already sitting like at a significant low. But yeah, Netlist is still up 14.5. Robinhood up 6.8. Virgin Galactic still green. DIDI down 6.5 percentage points, sitting at 7.9. Nano Dimension still up 4.6%. BNGO down. Does BNGO have earnings? Oh wait, we recently had earnings. And wait, no, that's not it. Is that? What's that? Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, we recently already had earnings. And it's just proceeding to go down right now with the market, right? So the whole market is coming down, including the small market caps. So that could be one of the main reasons why it's going down. What's happening to Bumble? Oh, wow. Bumble up 10 percentage points. That's wild. Something must have been announced for Bumble. It's just a really wild move for it to be just moving 10%. Alright, we're going to be turning off the membership only mode. I'm going to be turning on the subscriber mode. So if you're a subscriber, you're going to be able to talk in the live chat. If not, then make sure you subscribe for the next 7 minutes. Alright, let's see. Bumble. Why is Bumble up 10%? What is happening here with Bumble? What did they announce? Is there something happening with Bumble? Nothing. I can't find anything on the... Maybe I can find something on Twitter. Usually Twitter is very, very darn accurate with this kind of stuff. There you go. Bumble beat 2Q estimates and raised 3Q for... Okay. Right, so Bumble actually crushed earnings the other time. And it's just going up right now because the growth stocks were going up. Yeah, so... Looking pretty good. Yeah, so they crushed earnings recently. That's why it's going up. $10-year slightly up. Oil is down. Okay, interesting. That should be very bad for the value stocks. Most of these value stocks are very reliant on oil. Unbelievable. C3 going down again. Like, I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. It's failing to jump on a consistent basis. U.S. troops fired crowd control shots at Kabul airport. Pentagon says. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That shouldn't be... I mean... Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Hood, still up 7.1%. Netlist, still doing pretty good. Tesla, still doing pretty good, sitting at 688. Not at 695, but still sitting quite high. We have AI at 46.1. Palantir coming back down, of course, after the big move that we had to the upside. Now, what I'm predicting is that we have a new trend line, which is something like this. I think it's going to come back down again. And then right around 24.5, it's going to jump again to 27. We'll see if that's going to happen. I've seen this happen before with Palantir. We'll see. But yeah, it could come down a little bit from here. Gara just admits C3.ai is a bust and bad pick. No. No. The fundamentals are most important. I think the fundamentals are good. And so long as the fundamentals are still good, then I will refuse to say that it's a bad pick. In a stock market crash, everything goes down, including C3.ai. So if that happens, oh well. But I still think that the fundamentals are solid. We're just going to have to see how earnings are going to be. If they have several quarters of bad earnings and they cannot validate it, then yes, of course, at some point you have to throw in the towel. It is what it is, right? Some companies they just go downhill at some point. But I still don't think that's the case right now. Let's see. Let's just say one thing. They have risen from the dead before. Speaking about C3.ai. It's not the first time this happens to them. I mean, would you look at that? Remember, I was like, I was like looking at the stock at like $80. I was like, yeah, it's gonna come back in no time. No problem. And the growth stocks just kept going down and down and down. The whole stock market just, I would say it wasn't even the whole stock market. It was just the Russell that just kept plummeting. It was like a rotation within the Russell from the high multiple tech stocks to the more value side of the Russell. So, yeah, that's kind of painful, but yeah. Thomas Siebel says they will have stable growth in 2022. Yeah, I know that. I've actually listened to that when he said that. I asked the question, will Palantir reach $30 this week in the live chat? 33% saying yes. 67% says nah. So we'll see who's going to be right. Apple's down 2.5%. No way. Look at that. Apple down significantly right now. Holy moly, that is just wild. Yeah, I thought because we have the product releases coming up that it would be going up further. It might, we'll see. There's still lots of time left. I bought like 2,000 shares of Alibaba at 172. Let's hope for the best, eh? We'll see. MACD sitting very low. And the stock market is officially closed. Now we're going to be taking a look for... we're going to be looking at earnings for Robinhood. Right, so let me just see if we can get a hold of that right now. Robinhood earnings. Let's go. Robinhood.com. All right. Oh, there we go. Investor relations. Let's see if we can get a hold of this. Cool. In fact, I think I got this really cool filter I can use here. Let's go. Fantastic. So you don't see the browser. All right, so let's see. Robinhood stock market watch. See how the market is going to be reacting to Robinhood. So far, it's been very mild. Now let's see. Financials. Maybe events, upcoming events. Robinhood Q2 earnings. I think that's it, probably. Although they haven't really uploaded anything yet, right? But that's the event. I want the actual financials. Robinhood is up slightly. I don't think the report is out yet for the Q2 earnings. I think it's gonna be good, but it's Robinhood, right? Wall Street Bets is all over it. It could drop, it could go up and down. I think it's gonna be good. I like their site. It's so modern. It's a very modern site. It's also a modern company, so. It's up 0.4% right now. Wait, is the webcast right now? No, it's gonna start way too late. I'm sorry, I can't join the webcast. The idea is that I wanna take a look at the earnings report. I wanna see what's happening there. I have some Robinhood myself. I'm gonna be watching the webcast on my own, but it's already 10 p.m. for me, so it's gonna get really late. I only watch the webcasts for companies like a Tesla or Palantir or C3.ai. But maybe down the road I could be watching a Robinhood webcast too. I mean, I just want to see what their earnings are looking like. I'm very curious. I really want to know. I don't know when they're going to release it though. SEC filings, governance. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, here we go. It's down 1.1%. Down even further now. I think it's down way more than that. 2.3%. Yeah, there you go. They probably reported earnings. I think the earnings itself could be good, but the reaction could be bad because it was pumped up so much by Wall Street bets. 3.8% to the downside. So it already got released, apparently. I can't find it here. Usually they report the EPS, somewhere in like CNBC or something. Can't find anything. Overview. Maybe it's here. Let me check the live chat. Hold up. It's not even on the press release yet. Check the events. Q2 earnings. What the what what just happened? Did you see that? It went down like 3% and just came back up. That was wild. That is just interesting, I guess. It's really darn interesting. What the hell? Okay. I think it's probably just people are impatient for the earnings report, I guess, because I can't find the earnings report right now. I don't think it's reported yet. No, not yet. Nope. But why is it down 3.3% then if the earnings report is not there yet? Oh, Hood missed the estimate. EPS of minus 2.16, revenue of 565, beating expectations of 521.84. Huh. Interesting. So they beat the revenue estimates, but they were not able to beat the EPS. Which is really important, right? EPS is darn important. I don't understand why they don't upload the files to their website. It's, Huh. I'm gonna check where me Kevin is looking right. I think me Kevin is also reporting this as we speak. Hold up. Probably it's just like Bloomberg terminal, right? Yeah. Yeah, when you have a Bloomberg terminal, you get this kind of news very fast. I don't know where it is. Can't find it. There's probably like an article out right now saying, oh, it's EPS this, revenue that. Well, hold up. There we go. 3 minutes ago. There we go. Robinhood's revenue more than doubles to 565 million. That's wild. Last quarter on huge surge in crypto trading. Nice. Robinhood's revenue more than doubled in the second quarter to 565 million, bolstered by a massive surge in crypto trading. The stock trading app said it was okay. Cool. That's really nice, but they did miss the EPS. Right. Net loss of 502 million. It's obviously, I think, because of the IPO, probably. Revenue from crypto trading totals 233 million, more than half of all their transaction base. Wow. Damn. That's a lot of revenue from crypto. That's a lot of revenue from crypto. Damn, I have to say that's more than 60% of cumulative net funded accounts traded crypto in the quarter. In the second quarter of 2020, crypto-based revenue was just 5 million. Shit. Clients trading options contributed 165 million to and equities were 52 million of transactions. Equities were 52 million of transaction-based revenue. That's interesting. Robinhood also earns revenue off of its gold subscription service. The company did not issue forward-looking guidance. Robinhood shares jumped 6.7%. Okay. It wasn't bad. I mean, I have to say, it wasn't bad. They have a one-time loss because of the IPO costs. This is really good. They're really benefiting from crypto, and crypto is going to remain popular for this year. So, yeah, I think they're going to kill it. I think this is going to be a good year for Robinhood. I think they might still reach $100 at the end of the year. Yep. Looking good. Of course, I mean, there's a lot of hype around Robinhood, so that's why the stock is reacting the way it is. Usually after earnings, it comes down, right? So, oh well. Let's shrug it off. Yeah. Let's go back to the charts. Oh no. Oh shit. Yeah, I somehow got onto the Discord. Oops. Let's go to... There we go. Cool. I think I still have that filter on. Nice. That is a lot better. Alright. I am exceptionally tired. I think it is time to wrap up the live stream. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. I will be Live again tomorrow, obviously. And I think the next 2 days could be very green. Very green. So make sure you tune in. We could possibly be sitting at the bottom of many growth stocks out there. It looks like we might see a bit of a rally the coming days. So yeah, good stuff coming. Today was a good day for many growth stocks. For the overall market, I would say not so much. Not so much indeed. Tesla pretty well. XPeng did pretty well. Neo, Lee, AI, Palantir, Robinhood, Netlist, Virgin Galactic, all green. But yeah, the overall indices came down. We have the Russell coming down right now as we speak as well. So we'll see. Yeah, this does look like a market correction, doesn't it? That's a 2% downturn on the S&P. And that is a, let me check. Also 2% downturn on the NASDAQ. And the Dow Jones also now down almost 2 percentage points. So, yeah, correction times. All right, cheers. Have a good day. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Like usual, before the market opens, before the market closes, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Discord. Links are down below. Check it out. Have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.